Welcome back to the Bulls franchise, everyone, and as we enter the year 2026, our young Bulls are still extremely inconsistent. They started the season playing awful basketball with one of the worst defenses and offenses in the league, but maybe, just maybe, there's still time to turn this season around. With two big wins over the Suns and Heat on Christmas Eve and Christmas respectively, young players like Andre Lorbeck and Mace Gadzarich seem to really find their footing and show what they're capable of. Even Justin Powell had a breakout game out of absolutely nowhere due to injuries to Coby White and Brandon Ingram. Powell stepped in and immediately looked like one of our best shooters. We're shooting under 35% from three-point range as a team, so we need all the help we can get in that department. But at the end of the day, it's still very unlikely that we're going to be competing for a playoff spot with this roster. It's getting to the point of the season where it's time to start thinking about trades. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Patrick Williams is on my trade block right now. Williams has just not developed the way that I've wanted him to. His efficiency has not gotten better, it's in fact gotten worse. And I've been very patient with him. I gave him a 5-year extension. But given that we have Jaden McDaniels on the team, who just had a 40-point game and is pretty clearly outperforming Williams to this point, I've decided to start fielding calls for our former number 4 draft pick. Cole Anthony is also on the trade block, and he's done quite a bit of good stuff for us in his tenure with the Bulls, but Andre Lorbeck has the potential to be our franchise point guard, and it feels like he's just getting better every single game. I want the ball to be in Lorbeck's hands as much as possible, and I'm not sure how effective Anthony can be playing off ball. I eventually want to move Lorbeck to his natural position of true point guard, and I do think Anthony would be a very quality backup point guard, but I also think that there's a decent return that we could get for him in the trade market. I also just feel like I never really figured out how to utilize Anthony to the best of his ability when playing games. It just always felt like he took forever to get going on the offensive end. And it always felt like I would perform worse with him than he would play in the simulated games. And also when he would shoot, it just felt like he would play under his ratings. I think this team has a lot of talent, but a lot of the reason for our underwhelming start has just been weird fits in the lineup and how difficult it's been to find 5 guys who can play together on the same page. And I think Lorbeck and Anthony in the backcourt has been kind of a weird fit. And unfortunately, as much as I really wanted to believe in Coby White and give him a chance to break out, it just has not happened. I think injuries really derailed his development. Last season, he was a really solid high-volume scoring guard off the bench, but this season, his efficiency has dropped off a cliff. He's just not playing up to his contract right now. He's kind of on the fringe of falling out of the rotation. I haven't been playing him every game. But with how much we're investing in Andre Lorbeck, I just don't really see Coby White turning things around in a Bulls uniform, and I think he could benefit from a change of scenery. There are a lot of teams in the league right now that feel like they're just a point guard away from being a solid or contending team. I mean, the Spurs almost won a championship last year, but they have Trey Jones as their starting point guard still. I think they could use an upgrade. So unless we go on an absolute tear in January and get back to 500, I'm hoping that Anthony and White will find new homes this year. We kick things off in this episode with a 29-point loss to Utah. On the bright side, Jaden McDaniels looks to be continuing his career-high efficiency from the three-point line, shooting 3 of 4, scoring 22 points. Unfortunately, though, Justin Powell played more like a 69 overall player rather than the player we saw against Miami, as he shot 1 of 8 in this one. Coby White has recovered from his injury, and we are officially back at full strength. I had Andre Lorbeck coming off the bench as the backup point guard in the meantime, but he will move back into the starting lineup now that we have Coby White back. He will be playing 20 minutes. Unfortunately, Justin Powell is back out of the rotation, but I'll see what I can do giving him some minutes in the future. And I'm choosing to have Patrick Williams be our 6th man. It's not like he's been bad and undeserving of a starting spot, but Jaden McDaniels has just been the better player over the last couple weeks. He has 5 straight games in double figures, while Williams has only cracked that mark once in the last 5 games. It is now January 1st, 2026, and we're going to kick off our new year on the road against the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks. On paper, this should be a really bad loss for us and a very easy win for Milwaukee, but the Bucks aren't as dominant as they probably should be. They're only 22-14 right now. But I just wanted a chance to play against this team since they've gotten Jimmy Butler. I haven't gotten to do that yet. So let's see if we can pull off the upset. Milwaukee wins the tip. It's also our first time squaring off against Buddy Hield, who was on our team last year, as Antetokounmpo gets things started with a post-spin jam. Here is Brandon Ingram, who will have the tough task of scoring on Jimmy Butler all night long, and he does just that. We deflect the post-entry pass, disrupting their offense, but they give it right back to Giannis. He pulls up for the mid-range shot, and it's well contested by McDaniels. Not too many other guys you'd rather have in the league guarding Giannis than Jaden McDaniels, as Donovan Clingan lowers his shoulder and scores down low. Here's Giannis again, guarded by McDaniels. Drives, middle, spins to the baseline and lays it in off the glass. Here is Lillard, speeding past Cole Anthony for the layup. He is a handful. Clingan off the pick and roll, a finger roll. Now Ingram rejects the screen, gives it back to Clingan, and he is fouled from behind by Steven Adams, their new starting center. Bobby Portis has since returned to his six-man role as Buddy Hield hits the corner three. He was fun to use when we had him, but he definitely was not going to win a championship if he had stayed with us. Brandon Ingram with the smooth pull-up jumper, and excellent isolation defense from Donovan Clingan, forcing the miss from Giannis. But then we throw it right back into Giannis's back. He gets it back and scores off the glass, plus the foul. 14-9, Milwaukee in the lead, and Clingan is feasting off those pick-and-roll feeds. Here is McDaniels, guarded by Hield, and no chance stopping him down low. We're shooting 6 of 8 from the field thus far, and McDaniels rejects Giannis on the hook shot. Here's Anthony the other way. Lorbeck in the corner gets Hield off his feet and lays it in over Adams. We're in the lead. Here is Lillard with a little hesitation and then the floater off the glass. Anthony hits Lorbeck on the back cut. Nice play. 17-16. Missed shot from Lillard, and it's put back in by Giannis. Brandon Ingram in the left corner. Uses the screen. Fadeaway J over the outstretched arm of Adams. 19-18 early here, and here's the power rankings. The Bucks are 6th in the league. We are all the way down at number 30. That would have been last in the league a year ago. Jose Alvarado now in the game. Misses the three, and Bobby Portis with the grown man putback and the foul. Here's Mace Gadzarich with a nifty pump fake and score. He makes good use of that pump fake to get an open look because when he's trying to finish through contact, it usually doesn't end well. There is Sidi Sissoko, the former Spur who was traded for Chris Middleton. Now Kobe White redirects the miss back into the hoop. Tightly contested here, 2 minutes to go in the first. Alvarado rejected by Williams. Anthony drives left, too strong on the layup. Alvarado, a pesky defender. Here is Butler down low, finds Portis, and Alvarado is blocked again. Cole Anthony that time. Now Dalen Terry down the court to Gadzarich, and he's fouled. The free throws both good for Mace, and we are back in the lead. Lorbeck trying to guard Portis down low, and he gets the goaltend call. Kobe White an open look off the screen. No good, it rattled out. Still trying to regain his form from last season. Here is Butler off the glass and in. Sissoko, another three. And the Bucks build a 6-point lead in the final minute of the first quarter. White sets up Gadzarich from the elbow, it's good. And he cuts it to 4 after 1. White gives it to Lorbeck, and he eats up space in the paint and gives it back out to White. He hits the wide open triple. Sissoko dumps it into Giannis. Dalen Terry on the defense. Forced the miss, but couldn't get the rebound. Giannis had to work for that bucket. Buddy Hield again from beyond the arc. 36-30. Williams trying to answer, and he does. Nothing but net. Lillard denied. Andre Lorbeck sent him to the floor and gets the breakaway slam. I don't know if you realize, Dame, but this is a 6'8" point guard you're dealing with. You're not going to be able to just shoot over him all willy-nilly. What a defensive play from the rookie point guard. Here is Sissoko. Open shot is good again. He's only on the team because the Bucks had to dump Middleton's salary, but he's proven himself to be a worthwhile young asset. There is Lorbeck again scoring off the back cut. I love using that play. Easy looks inside every time. Lillard again bothered on the three by Lorbeck, and Lorbeck the other way and dunks it home. Andre Lorbeck making a two-way impact against the most stacked team in all of basketball. Giannis, indecisive, puts it up, and he is rejected by Donovan Clingan. Pat Williams, the drop-off to Terry, and he is fouled by Lillard. 41-38 Bulls. Giannis slips the screen and gets an easy dunk. Ingram guarded by Hield. He sees blood in the water, and he takes advantage of a subpar defender. Terry, backdoor cut, and jams it home with one hand. Here is Giannis. McDaniels trying to stay physical, but can't get the rebound, and Giannis on the second chance opportunity. Now he's going to confidently pull the three and knock it down to tie the game. Not much else you can do to guard Giannis other than force him to shoot the jumper, and when he's hitting that, he's pretty much unstoppable. Here is Ingram up top. Gets around AJ Green, pump fake, goes up with it. He will not be denied. What an and one finish from Brandon Ingram. And he converts the free throw to make it a 3-point lead. Oh, the flashy no-look bounce pass from Jimmy Butler. He doesn't just get buckets, he gets assists too. Here is Ingram, bothered by the 6-foot-tall Jose Alvarado. Hard over height. Antetokounmpo, timely cut to the rim, and Jose understood the assignment. The three from Ingram gives him 14 points, and McDaniels forces Giannis out of bounds. Now the Greek Freak is rumbling down the middle, and he finishes through contact. Unstoppable brute force. But fortunately, he's also a little bit too forceful with his free throw attempts. Cole Anthony scores his first bucket before the defense can get set. Butler with the dump off. Giannis off the glass. Tie game at 53. Ingram cuts back door and dunks it over Portis. He's got 16 and he gets the steal. Gadzarich, open lane, and skies for the slam. I'm telling you, he's sneaky athletic. And J-Mac is just athletic, no sneakiness about it as he gets the block on Giannis. We get lucky there as AJ Green misses a wide open three, and the Bulls pushing it. Ingram off the nice feed from McDaniels, and that was all started by a great outlet pass from Mace Gadzarich, one of his strengths. More good defense. Anthony, left side, hits Williams down low, reverse, and the foul. The Bulls are up by 9 in Milwaukee. They're locked in on New Year's Day. There is Portis scoring down low. And Anthony hits McDaniels. No good. Clingan is there. And he makes his presence felt. There is Kobe White getting around AJ Green, laying it up off the glass. 66-55. McDaniels putting more clamps, this time on Jimmy Butler. We have the last shot if we want it. Clingan says, why wait? And he dunks it over Sissoko. Clock running out, and Butler is fouled by McDaniels on the three. That's why you wait for the last shot, because sometimes stuff like that happens. Butler hits all three free throws, and it's only a 10-point halftime lead over the defending champions in their house. The talent this team possesses has been on full display. Ingram has been having a fantastic game, 18 points in 16 minutes. Jaden McDaniels hasn't done much on offense, but he has done everything he can to keep the Bucks in check on the defensive end. And how about the young Andre Lorbeck? 10 points, 5 of 7 shooting. He has looked really comfortable in this hostile environment. But despite our best defensive efforts, Giannis Antetokounmpo has been his MVP self. 24 points and a near double-double. But fortunately for us, the rest of the Bucks have not gotten into rhythm. It's extremely refreshing to see the Bucks shooting 28% from three-point range at halftime. Let's try to keep that number as low as it can be. We've been getting into the paint with ease, and we haven't had to shoot very much. Let's see if the Bucks will continue to give us those easy looks in the second half. McDaniels tries a three and hits it. That's a great sign. Now Lillard will pull. Good from the top of the key over Cole Anthony. Lillard's got it again. Now Hield gets free. That one's off, and it's put back in by Antetokounmpo. He has his double-double. That time, Hield gets it to go. Back down to a 5-point lead. It's not going to be easy to put this team away. Ingram fouled again. He has been aggressive, drawing fouls so far today. Butler to Hield inside, good for 2. 73-68. Lillard blocked by Anthony. And the Bulls have been on a blocking spree in Milwaukee. Anthony to Klingon, inside, double-teamed. Lorbeck can't hit the three with nobody around. Butler wide open. That one's good. And it's a one-possession game. Bucks knocking on the door. McDaniels will try again. That one misses, but Lorbeck rebounds. Williams to Lorbeck on the left side. He drives on Lillard, shakes him free. Give that guy a map. Where are you going? But then Lillard gets him back with that cut to the rim. McDaniels can't finish down low. And Jimmy Butler trying to take it all the way, and he's fouled. Butler did not hit the first, but he makes the second. We hold on to the 1-point lead, and Gadzarich down the middle is fouled. Both free throws good for him. And here is Portis receiving a nice pass off the pick and roll and laying it in. Trading buckets here as Lorbeck blows by Alvarado for the score. The pressure he's put on the rim from the point guard position has been really hard for the Bucks to handle, as City Sissoko gets it to go from the top of the key. And it's a tie game. Lorbeck! More artistry at the rim. He was hanging in the air for forever. Butler buries it over Gadzarich. Lorbeck running a pick and pop with Gadzarich. Mace, nothing but lace. Now a chance to extend the lead. McDaniels hits Gadzarich down low, reverses it home. 15 points for Mace. Bucks have it inside, but our defense holds up. Williams and Gadzarich with active hands. Lorbeck guarded by Butler. Hits McDaniels. Pump fake up and under. 88-81. A.J. Green, no. Rebound Butler. No rebound Portis. Sissoko, no. Bucks can't buy a bucket. Sissoko tries to save it, and it goes to the Bulls. Lorbeck goes left. Gives to Williams. Bottoms. And we're back up to 10. Milwaukee passing it around the perimeter, and A.J. Green gets the three. Lorbeck looking at Ingram, delivers, and he is fouled by Sissoko. 5 of 5 free throws and 22 points for B.I. Donovan Klingon on the perimeter, Euro steps, and gets the layup. Fouled by Portis, his fourth. That is so impressive, seeing our 7'2 center put it on the floor like that. And Ingram makes it 15. Giannis has it down low, hooks it up and over Dalen Terry. And the last shot of the half goes to us. Ingram inside, gets the layup to go. He has 27. And Chicago pulls away and builds a comfortable lead heading into the fourth. Can we get the job done? Giannis with the fadeaway J. That is an uncontestable shot right there. Adams with the post hook. And it's down to 11. Turnover. Interception by A.J. Green. Down the left side, drops off to Giannis. He is hacked by Pat Williams. Giannis hits both free throws, and Terry with a putback to get it back up to double digits for us. Lillard with the penetration, now the drop off to Giannis, and the score over two defenders. Giannis has been their entire offense today, and somehow he's kept them in this game. Giannis speeds past Williams. He looks like he's on a mission. He's not about to lose to the worst team in the East. But these Bulls are hungry to shock the world. Here is Anthony, open, good! He's been quiet today, only 5 points with that three-pointer. But it puts us up by 10, and Clingan makes it 12 off the beautiful pick-and-roll feed from Ingram. There is Lillard scoring amidst a crowd of Bulls. Now he wants another bucket, and he's fouled by Terry. 108-99, we throw it away. Jose Alvarado ahead to Buddy Hield, and the jumper is down. 7 minutes in the ball game. Ingram driving, zigzagging, out to Dalen Terry. A corner triple is good. Getting closer and closer to the win, but Lillard is allowed an easy drive and score. Cannot take our foot off the gas on defense. Giannis is fouled by Clingan and thankfully misses both free throws. Ingram, pull up, and another dish to Clingan. Those two have been working together all night long. Antetokounmpo, the fadeaway is down. 38 points on 17 made field goals for the two-time champion. Brandon Ingram hits Lorbeck on the cut, and before you blink, he dunks it through. Steven Adams, trying to score on McDaniels, puts it up and in. Lorbeck attacks Lillard, and oh my goodness, a marvelous finish. Call me crazy, but I think his body control and creativity around the rim is already up there with the greats, like Kyrie Irving. He is so exciting to watch and play with, as Giannis is fouled and hits one of two free throws. A turnover by Ingram. Jimmy Butler doing what he does best, getting the steal, now taking it coast to coast, now dropping off to Adams at the last second. Hield, a three, good! Buddy Hield is waking up here down the home stretch of this game. Lillard with the steal from Lorbeck. Lillard down the left side, and Lorbeck gets back on defense to contest him. Buddy Hield pulls again. That one's off. Closing in on the 3-minute mark. Lorbeck out to Terry. Left corner, Clingan cutting and reversing. When our offense is constantly moving and cutting, that's when we're the most dangerous. There is Antetokounmpo scoring over two Bulls. And he's got the ball again. Clingan staying back. Antetokounmpo spins left, puts it up, and he's fouled. Again misses the first and hits the second. 5-point ball game as we close in on 2 minutes. Ingram left wide open. That one's off. You wish you could have that one back. Lillard gives to Giannis. Bad defense. And we give up the easy slam. One possession game. Ingram trying not to lose it. Finds Lorbeck in the corner. Posting up Lillard. Puts it up and in. 22, 6, and 8. All 22 of those points have been in the paint for Andre Lorbeck. Here's Giannis with a nasty pump fake and hook shot. He has 46. Lorbeck explodes to the rim again. He's dangerous with the ball and without it. Clingan guarding Giannis one-on-one. Here is Lillard. The three is off. Rebound Ingram. Clingan taking it down, hitting Lorbeck, and he puts the nail in the coffin. 7-point lead. Under 50 seconds now. Lillard fouled. Almost hit the three. We always seem to do that at the worst possible time. Our chances of winning this challenge are extremely slim. But we have the timeouts, so why not give it a try? And he definitely just slapped him on the arm there. That was 0% ball. Lillard at the free throw line, hits one, misses the next, and hits the third. 5-point ball game. They're going to have to foul. And Ingram is fouled by Hield. This time, they're having trouble fouling. Ingram is getting away from him. Spinning and scoring! Buddy Hield is furious. Ingram just picked the defense apart. And that is going to put a cap on an incredible upset from the Chicago Bulls. They go into the defending champs' house and defeat them on New Year's Day. Lorbeck gets another bucket for good measure. He's got 28, and the team's got 130. Buddy Hield gets one more three-pointer in there, and the game is over. Chicago with a huge road win. This is the best we've looked all season, rising to the occasion against a star-studded lineup, and if just for today, it really looked like we belonged in the NBA. The star of Andre Lorbeck just keeps shining brighter. He was fantastic today, putting up 28 points, carving up the Bucks defense with or without the ball, and he looks like a future All-Star, perhaps sooner than later. Clingan with a highly efficient double-double, and Ingram looked like the #1 scoring option we brought him in to be. Even Mace Gadzarich made some impact plays, scoring 15 points today. J-Mac and Clingan both took turns guarding Giannis, and they did their absolute best to contain him. Sometimes there was just no stopping him tonight, as he finishes with 46 and 16, and 3 steals as well. But I'm not sure anyone was stopping that freight train tonight. We managed to keep the other stars in check. Damian Lillard only scored 16 on 6 of 15 shooting. Jimmy Butler only went for 13 points. But I was hesitant to double-team Giannis throughout this game because I didn't want to let any of the other guys find their rhythm. I liked my chances in a 1-on-5 ball game, and we got the job done. And I've been very impressed in the improvement in our three-point defense in the past handful of games. I think we gave up a lot less open looks today. And we still need to work on our own shooting. We only hit 9 today, but 33% is a lot better than we've seen in the recent past. Let's take a quick look at the college hoop scene as we have reached the midway point of conference play. After struggling to an 0-4 start, the Illinois Fighting Illini, on the back of projected #1 pick D.D. McDyess, have found their groove, winning 16 straight. Illinois fell early to Memphis, Kentucky, USC, and a shocking loss to Oral Roberts. Since that home loss to the Golden Eagles, McDyess has been dominant, averaging 27 points per game on 55% shooting from the floor. If there was ever a debate about the #1 pick, McDyess appears to have ended it. While we're talking about Oral Roberts, that early season upset has looked more and more understandable with the elite play of big man Rayshon Snyder. Snyder dominated against Illinois, scoring 28 points and turning away 6 shots. The transfer from Kentucky has proven to be valuable, and with increased playing time is quickly rising up draft boards. Entering the season with lofty expectations, Kentucky has struggled mightily with a young but talented class. Derek Hardaway and Dorian Knight, both highly recruited freshmen, have looked lost in the SEC as the Wildcats have limped their way to an 11-9 overall record. Hardaway began the season coming off the bench, but has played his way into the starting lineup in part because of the struggles by Kentucky throughout the roster. Meanwhile, Knight has shown flashes of brilliance as a deadly shooter, but served a 5-game suspension in early January that came amidst a 4-game winning streak. Kentucky went 1-4 in his absence. Filling the vacuum left atop the SEC has been Missouri, powered by Jermaine Rhodes, perhaps the best wing in basketball. The Tigers are unbeaten in SEC play, including an impressive 81-63 win over Kentucky in Lexington, while Rhodes is knocking on the door of being a top 5 pick in the NBA draft. The Wisconsin Badgers aren't letting Illinois and USC walk away in the stacked Big Ten, thanks in large part to big man Simon Beneman. The sophomore has dominated after a quiet freshman year coming off the bench for the Badgers, now powering them to 15 wins and just 2 losses in conference play to Illinois and USC. The California converts have looked anything but out of their element in the Big Ten. The Trojans, led by the stacked class of Marquise Hightower, George Hoffman, and Dion Ivey, have created one of the more high-powered offenses in college basketball. Hightower missed the first 10 games of the season with a sore knee, but the Trojans showed little signs of issue, going 8-2, including an 89-61 drubbing of UNC in the Champions Classic. The Bruins, meanwhile, are led by Luis Kuzma, the second best player in college basketball. Kuzma has become a nightly double-double threat, averaging 18.1 points and 9.1 rebounds thus far. His dynamic 6'9", 220-pound frame has allowed him to get to most any shot he wants when in the paint. Ira Mack, back for his senior year, has Iowa looking like a team poised to upset the growing hierarchy of the Big Ten. He's dishing out 5.7 assists while scoring a team-best 18.3 points, all while shooting 40.2% from beyond the arc, leading Iowa to a 15-4 record. Ohio State has also been led by high-level guard play, theirs in the form of freshman Jared Edwards. Edwards hasn't been consistently elite, but when he's been on, he's been tough to stop, scoring 21.4 points per game despite struggling to hit from beyond the arc. In the Big 12, it's been a familiar foe running the show. Kansas, led by Jaden Bibbs, have been dominant, with an 18-2 record on the season, and have just lost once in conference play, a 2-point loss to Kansas State on the road. Bibbs started the season as a potential late lottery pick, but he has rocketed up draft boards, averaging 15.4 points on the season thanks to his explosion toward the hoop. Traditional powers have retaken control of the ACC, with Miami fading to the background after the departure of Damian Pack. UNC and Duke have again positioned themselves atop the conference. The addition of big man Sol J. Crabbe has ignited the Tar Heels, as Crabbe has looked like a potential lottery pick in leading UNC, along with Artavis Carney, to a 7-1 record in conference play. Duke, meanwhile, is paced by freshman wing Stephon Franklin, who entered the season as the number 25 prospect in the country, but has made that ranking look far too low. Franklin is averaging 14.5 points on 50.3% shooting from the field, feasting in the mid-range. With UCLA and USC gone from the Pac-12, Utah has quickly filled the spot as the top dog in the conference thanks to big man Trey Orton. A double-double threat for the Utes, Orton has anchored one of the nation's most stringent defenses, turning away 4.2 shots per game. Gonzaga has risen back to the top of the national rankings, driven by Dele Bagley. Bagley has invigorated Gonzaga with tough-nosed defense and elite playmaking ability, dishing out 6.8 assists per game, while leading the best defensive team in college basketball. The Zags remain unbeaten in conference play with a date against rival St. Mary's on the horizon. In the America, it's Memphis who has appeared to be far better than the competition. Big man Elijah McCoy has been a constant vertical threat, both in scoring, 10.6 points per game, and on the glass with 13.9 rebounds. He's also been a valuable defender inside, blocking 3.1 shots per game. That doesn't mean the American is all accounted for. UConn remains a threat thanks to Antoine Okoro, who has been a valuable off-ball threat for the 13-5 Huskies. Okoro has struggled at times creating off the dribble, but the lack of elite defenders in the conference has allowed him to shine regardless. So that'll do it for our look at the college scene as the Bulls come crashing down from their high, going from that triumphant win in Milwaukee to a really bad home loss to Cleveland. Next up is the Detroit Pistons, who we narrowly beat earlier in the season. Cade Cunningham is back and healthy, and we're locked in a tight one in the fourth quarter here. Just under 11 minutes to go here as we're jumping in. Jaden Ivey, 3 swirls off the rim, and here is Dalen Terry. Finding Lorbeck on the other side of the floor, pump fakes, drives, misses, and it's tapped in by Klingon. 92 apiece. Here is Cunningham, guarded by Lorbeck, one of the only point guards who can match his size, but it doesn't matter, as Cunningham has that sweet shooting touch from the mid-range. Ingram, foot inside the line, but he gets the jumper. Cunningham has another open mid-range look. That one's off, but Jalen Duren active on the glass. Now Ivey finds Asar Thompson alone in the corner. And the Pistons are up by 5. Lorbeck smothered by Thompson. And the free throw's good. Anthony rejected. Thompson, just a lightning quick defender who plays with a chip on his shoulder. Brandon Ingram gets inside for the slam. Back down to 1, and Ingram gets the interception. Now here he is backing down Cunningham for the score. And we're in the lead. Jalen Duren out to Ausar Thompson. The 3 is good. Somehow he always manages to make those contested threes against us. Here is Lorbeck driving and lowering his shoulder for the score. Tied at 102. Cunningham finds Killian Hayes. We'll give him that shot most days, but he hits it there. Cunningham steps into another easy mid-range shot. Williams in the corner. Drives and is blocked by Jalen Duren. Lorbeck doesn't want to test Duren that time. Gives it out to the corner for Ingram. Step back J is in. 107-104. We're down. Williams, contested 3, bottoms. He's got 22, one of his best games in a while. Here is Ivy, good for 3. He has really taken a step forward this year in terms of scoring volume. Killian Hayes not going to hit another 3. And we're down to 3 minutes to go here. Anthony puts it on the money for Patrick Williams, and James Wiseman is fouled out of the game. And the free throw ties it back up at 110. Ivy gets it to go, and the foul. That's Klingen's 4th. There's Mackenzie Mbako. He's blocked by Klingen. Under 2 to go. Lorbeck pushing it up the right side. Gets around his man. Misses the layup. Under 90 seconds now. Lorbeck trying to make up for the mistake. And 1. He does just that. And with a free throw, we take the lead. Under a minute, up by 1, we need a good shot. Williams pulls it from the corner, contested, that's off. And the Pistons trying to retake the lead. Here's Cunningham, finds Ivy all alone, it's good! What were we doing on defense there? Back down by 1, shot clock at 7. Anthony, Ingram, driving, feeds Klingen. The layup, too strong! We've got a foul, and we do. We had a foul to give, and now we foul Ausar Thompson. And he misses the second after hitting the first. We advance with a timeout. 8.4 on the clock. Who are we going to go to? Ingram's in the corner. Williams has it. And he comes down for the handoff, attacks the rim, and he's fouled! Ausar Thompson misses the free throw and then commits the costly foul, allowing Ingram to go to the line, hitting the first. And this is for the tie. It's good! Timeout Pistons, they advance. And we always seem to put together exciting games when these two teams meet. We're taking Ingram out, we're putting a defensive lineup in, and we are going to focus on Cade Cunningham, not letting him get an easy look here. Kelly Oubre inbounds. Where is he going to go? He gives it to Jaden Ivey outside. The prayer is unanswered, and we're going to overtime. Really? That was the best they could come up with after the timeout? Here we are. I guess we'll take it. Brandon Ingram. Here is Anthony off the feed, and he gets the 3. He's got 17. And a beautiful feed from Cunningham inside to Jalen Duren. Those two are a dangerous pick-and-roll duo. Ingram in rhythm off the screen. It's good. 120, 117. Here is Cunningham, guarded by Anthony. Around the screen. Off balance, 3 is good. What a shot. Tied at 120. Here is Ingram. Cannot answer. Jaden Ivey now. Gets around Williams, pump fakes, and scores. That pump fake confused Klingon. Now Ingram is fouled. And the free throws tie the game up. Under 3 to go. Cunningham lobs it up to Duren. He slipped the screen and broke our defense wide open. Now Duren gets the block. Pistons in transition. Ivy, the pull-up. No good. Rebound Duren. Back out to Ivy. Good! Jalen Duren is taking over this game late. Williams, an open 3. You gotta have it. Down by 5. Cunningham is fouled. And we're down 7. And we are on the ropes. Ingram earns 2 more free throws to cut it down to 5. Ivy gets right around Lorbeck. That was too easy. We get the badly needed turnover here. A minute to go. We need a quick bucket. Ingram drives on Thompson. Puts it up and in. A circus shot. But we need a whole lot more than that as the free throws put it back up to 7. Ingram with a long three-pointer. It's off. And the Bulls will fall to the Pistons at home. The Pistons are real tough. I don't know if we would have beaten them early in the year if Cunningham didn't get injured in that fourth quarter. This time he stays healthy throughout, and Cunningham and Duren were absolutely deadly. This team has a lot of young talent, and it finally seems like they're clicking together. Ivy is finding his rhythm. Asar Thompson just continues to improve on the offensive end. He had 21 today on 5 of 6 3-pointers. Where did this shooting touch come from? And not to mention, they've also got James Wiseman, who's having a really nice season for himself. Despite fitting in very awkwardly, I mean, he's having to pretty much play power forward alongside Jalen Duren. This team is managing to be very good while still having some serious spacing issues and some odd lineup fits. But what's the best thing for a team to do when they feel like they're ready to take the next step mid-season? They go to the trade market, and that's exactly what they do after this game. A 3-team blockbuster has just occurred between the Pistons, Suns, and Raptors. There's a lot to unpack here, but the gist of it is the Raptors have traded Siakam to the Pistons, and Detroit is giving up a whole lot in return, including James Wiseman. But he's not going to be headed to Toronto. The Suns are going to make a swap of their starting centers, sending Jusuf Nurkic to Toronto, and James Wiseman will be heading to Phoenix. The Raptors have needed to blow up their team for a while now. The Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam experiment has just not worked out, especially after they've brought in DeMar DeRozan. It felt like a storybook ending at first, seeing DeRozan come back to the team that drafted him, but he ended up completely destroying their spacing and making them one of the worst teams in the league, unfortunately. So, Anunoby is already in a Kings uniform by this point, and now Pascal Siakam has also found his way onto a much more promising team. Detroit manages to keep their young core of Cunningham, Ivy, and Thompson, and now gives them an experienced, championship-winning player to complement them. Meanwhile, the Raptors get a boatload of picks for their former All-Star, 3 first-round picks and 3 second-rounders to be exact. And they could have taken James Wiseman, and it may have been a good idea, but instead they elect to get that 3rd first-round pick from the Suns. I think this is a win-win for all 3 teams, as the Raptors just get to go into full tank mode and stop pretending they're good. The Pistons obviously get Siakam, and the Suns make what I believe to be a needed swap at center in order to give themselves a real chance in the West. Jusuf Nurkic has not been good at all this year. He is washed up, and he's been holding the defense back. In a season where it finally feels like the Suns' big 3 is clicking together, and actually it's more like a big 4 with the addition of Matas Buzelis, who's playing like an all-star this year. The center they need is not a plodding, slow post scorer like Jusuf Nurkic, but a tenacious, defensive-minded, athletic center like Wiseman. Again, this is 2K, not real life. But the trade mill still wasn't done spinning after that one. The Timberwolves and Owls struck a deal. The Timberwolves are currently starting Emmanuel Quickley at point guard, and it's just not working out. and they decide to go get Monte Morris from Montreal, who's really broken out as the starting point guard, averaging 18.1 points on really good efficiency. And they send a pretty good haul in return. Jackson Cowan, the rookie they just drafted in the second round, is now going to have a chance at more playing time with Montreal. They also send a first rounder, a second rounder, and Wendell Moore. Okay, that's enough trade talk for today. Back to Bulls basketball, and we're able to get the big win over the Indiana Pacers, winning by almost 30 here. But guess who our next opponent is? Yeah, that's right, we have another game against the Pistons, which means we get to see Pascal Siakam make his debut for the Detroit Pistons. And here he is, sinking the three for his first bucket. Now he goes to his patent spin move, carving up our defense for the coast-to-coast layup. I thought these new-look Pistons were going to be unstoppable, and they look to be through 3 quarters. But look at this fourth quarter score. With 34 seconds left, we have outscored Detroit 33-9 and come right back into this game. They're giving me no choice but to jump back in and see the ending of this. So Detroit will start with the ball, and Siakam finds Hayes in the corner. The three is off. We still have 2 timeouts, and we can use them here. We're looking to see if we can find an easy look right away, but we do not. And we call timeout. 13.7 seconds to go. Here's the box score. Siakam has 25 in his debut so far. Ingram having a good game, and Anthony, Terry, and Lorbeck all also in double figures. So I wanted to make sure Dalen Terry was out there with the rest of the guys to close out this game, right? This is the lineup I wanted out there. A small ball lineup with Pat Williams at the 5, considering we needed a 3-ball to tie. But look at what happened. I tried subbing in those guys, and none of them actually subbed in. We have our scrubs out there. Justin Powell is in the game. Mark Mitchell is in the game. This is a game-breaking bug on 2K's part. When you try to sub in players after jumping in from Simcast, sometimes this happens where it just doesn't work. I tried it again, and the same scrubs are in the game. Jet Howard has the ball. 10 seconds to go. Here's Justin Powell. Around the screen. Gives it to Howard. He drives left. Back to Powell. He fires. Good! Half a second to go. Tie ball game. This is insane. Justin Powell is good enough to overcome a terrible bug. And another attempt to sub in our correct players is unsuccessful. But it doesn't matter as they don't get the shot off, and we're headed to overtime. And now our starters are back in. When something like that happens, I usually just quit and start over, but I don't know. I just didn't feel like it that time, so here we are. Overtime. We throw the pass away. Cunningham has a breakaway layup. Not a great start. Here is Andre Lorbeck. Inside to Klingon, and he gets the layup. Tied at 104. Pascal Siakam. Too much to handle inside. Klingon stripped. Jalen Duren with another defensive play. Siakam runs over McDaniels, but there's no call, and the basket's good. 108-104. Ingram, no. McDaniels out to Lorbeck. Good from the corner. That jump shot still needs work, but it always seems to go in at the times we need it most. There is Siakam drawing a foul. Only hit one freebie, but there he goes hitting the mid-range pull-up. 1:30 to go. Lorbeck goes to the line. And he cuts it back down to 2. Siakam finds Cunningham. 3-ball! Those two already look like a match made in heaven. They're up by 5 here. Ingram around the screen and good from range. He's got 34. Pistons still up by 2. Siakam guarded by McDaniels, and he is locked up. Great defense from the seatbelt. As Lorbeck is inside, tries to shoot it over Oubre, and he is rejected. Still a 2-point game. 34 to go. Klingon sends a shot back. Corralled by Thompson. Siakam is blocked again, but it's a foul. McDaniels can't believe it, but Siakam hits all three to make it 5. McDaniels trying to answer. He cannot. And Chicago loses another nail-biter to the Pistons. They rumbled all the way back, tied in regulation thanks to more heroics from Justin Powell of all people. But in overtime, they fall apart. That was certainly entertaining, though, getting to see Siakam in the Pistons uniform. He puts up 35 in 41 minutes. And after that, Justin Powell has given me no choice but to find a way to give him some minutes. So he's getting 15 here off the bench going forward. That's going to do it for the action this episode. But before I head out of here, I want to update you guys on some stories around the league. The award races are finally available to see, and I figured these would paint a good picture of how some of these guys are doing. Kevonte Kennard is currently in line for Rookie of the Year, as he has immediately turned the rebuilding Lakers into one of the league's best defenses. But close behind him is Baron Hunter, who is getting big minutes with the Montreal Owls. Javon Boston hasn't been the most efficient shooting guard, but he's shown flashes of greatness, and he's averaging 15 points for the Thunder. Also averaging 15 is Cole Herringody for the Vancouver Woodsmen. And at number 5 on the list, there's our guy, Andre Lorbeck. He's had some ups and downs this year, but he's still been one of the top 5 rookies in the league. We'll continue to monitor if he's able to climb up this board at all throughout the course of the season. But even if he doesn't win Rookie of the Year, it would still be sweet to see him win First Team All-Rookie. And he's currently in position to earn those honors. And we have another player who is one of the front runners to win an award this year. Donovan Clingan is currently 3rd on the Defensive Player of the Year leaderboard. He's been getting more steals and blocks than just about anyone in the league, but Jaren Jackson and Chet Holmgren might be the only two that have him matched or beat. Even if he doesn't win it this year, I could definitely see him winning it sometime down the road. Here is the Bizarro World MVP race, as Tyler Hero makes an appearance at number 5. This is why I like to override awards, and I'll definitely start doing it this season. Because there is no way that 24 points per game from Tyler Hero is good enough to win MVP. Steph Curry, I can understand. LaMelo Ball, I can understand. The Hornets are one of the best teams in the league. Giannis is going for his 3rd MVP, and Garland, well, he's already been a superstar for multiple years in this series. But you might feel like something's missing from here, and that's because you're right. Luka Doncic, who would probably win like 12 straight MVPs if he never got hurt, is currently injured with a severe left ankle sprain. He's going to come back pretty soon, but he's missed enough time to this point that it's knocked him out of the MVP race. I'm still on 2K23, so we don't have that stupid 65 game rule, so there is a chance that he could play himself back into it. Here is the 6th Man of the Year race, and Trace Jackson Davis has basically been a Draymond Green clone. And he's been a do-it-all player for the Warriors. But this is a very tightly contested race, as Jaden Hardy has been really good. He's been the top scorer in the league off the bench. And Onyeka Okongwu and Nikola Vucevic have been really good bench big men in their own right. And would you look at that, Donovan Clingan is not only in line for Defensive Player of the Year, but he has a chance to win Most Improved as well. He's number 4 on this list. And to be honest, I'm not taking any of these rankings seriously, because how is MarJon Beauchamp number 1 when he has gone from probably the worst rotation player in the league last year to now a serviceable role player, I guess? The formula is all the way off. I mean, Scoot Henderson has blossomed into a superstar, and he's number 5 on the board. I mean, he probably deserves it more than any of these guys. So, again, don't take these rankings seriously. I'm just going to override them to what I feel is the most realistic at the end of the season. And the last thing I wanted to do before I end the episode was just quickly go over our players' average stats throughout the season. I feel like I haven't been doing that enough, and I feel like that may make it a little bit difficult for you guys to gauge how our players are doing and whether I should be keeping them or trading them. So here you go. Here's a little mid-season review, if you will. Brandon Ingram is averaging 22 points, and he has really rebounded from his poor three-point shooting season last year. That is an 82-point jump. That's huge. I always believed he was a better shooter than that, and he's proven me right. I was really hoping that he could get more into the 24s, even 25 or 26 point per game range though. But I feel like no matter how much you try to edit the sim sliders in 2K with the shot distribution and all that, the player scoring averages never are realistic. So overall, I'm very happy with Ingram's performance so far. He's been very fun to play with as well. Nice, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Cole Anthony, as his scoring is down but his assists are up, and his three-point shooting is up to 35%. This is very similar, or perhaps even better, than that final season in Orlando. So as much as I struggle to play with him, he's been very good in the sim. I think this bodes well for his trade market, unless we decide to keep him. Patrick Williams has just been very stagnant, which is disappointing to me. He still hasn't managed to shoot over 37% from three since we've started this series, and his field goal percentage is going down every year. And now that we have a guy like Jaden McDaniels, I feel like we can do better. McDaniels is a much better finisher with a much larger frame, and he has that gold clamps badge, which really helps him out on defense. The three-point shooting isn't quite as good, but it's improved from last year, and I'm hoping to see that continue to improve. Donovan Clingan is an absolute stud, and he has improved his game in just about every possible way. Even the turnovers are down from last year. I see him being our starting center for a long, long time. I still can't believe we found him at number 29 in the draft. And these are Andre Lorbeck's stats so far. He's gotten his three-point shooting to exactly 30%. That's not exactly good, it's pretty bad, but I thought it would be worse. And this is what I was saying earlier about Kobe White just kind of falling off a cliff this year. He's under 40% from the field. I think this has the potential to improve over the course of the year, but I just don't see what he brings to the team right now. I'm hoping that some team is willing to take a flyer on him based on the production he had last year, which was pretty good. But I don't know, man. So far, Justin Powell's been a better player. The proof is in the efficiency numbers. Dalen Terry has been okay. I mean, he's been doing just about everything as good or better than last year, except for shooting the basketball, which he's been much worse at. He's been a very streaky shooter throughout his career. For the majority of last season, he was much worse than 35% three-point shooting, but he managed to get it up to that with some really hot shooting toward the end of the season. Hopefully that happens again, because I still believe in Terry as a rotation piece. But at this point, I'm becoming a little bit worried about his chances to become a fixture in our starting lineup because of those shooting deficiencies. And let's face it, we need shooting right now more than anything else. Mace Gadzarich has overall been a rough scene so far in his rookie year. Sometimes it's really hard to get good stats with these centers who don't play inside. Feels like 2K just has a bias against centers in the sim engine, which has not worked in Gadzarich's favor at all. But hopefully as he continues to play more, he'll get more comfortable on an NBA floor and start hitting those threes, which is what we need from him. Jet Howard has unfortunately been very disappointing. His efficiency has not been good enough to warrant me playing him regular minutes, 20 plus minutes a night. He needs to show me he deserves minutes over Dalen Terry, because right now there's not much he can do other than score, and he's not really even doing that right now. If you remember, we did sign 39-year-old Al Horford to just kind of be a body at the end of our bench, and also to be a mentor to some of our young guys, specifically Mace Gadzarich. But I'm a little bit disappointed in the signing because I really did think he was going to be more effective on the court, but he is just way too slow at this point in his career. It basically makes him unusable. Like, he is an absolute turnstile on defense, even worse than Mace Gadzarich, despite his higher attributes in that category. So at this point, he's pretty much there to be our Udonis Haslem. We have a few more guys on the roster that I'm really happy to have at the end of the bench. I really like their play styles and what they could do for us, but there just really hasn't been an opportunity for them to get real playing time. And Mark Mitchell is one of those guys, so is London Johnson. I've always enjoyed playing with Mitchell because of the energy he brings. I haven't gotten a chance to play with London Johnson, actually. If you remember, this was the guy that we got in return for Gary Trent Jr. when you sent him to the Pelicans. So I might try to get him into the rotation at some point this season. But yeah, really not much else to say on him. But Andre Lorbeck and Mace Gadzarich aren't the only rookies I'm excited about. Icot Lucas and Branko Todorovic have both been doing their thing at the G League level while they wait for an opening in the rotation. The G League stats are always a bit wonky in this game, but it's still a positive sign whenever someone's playing well. Here are some of the recent games for Icot Lucas, and check out that double-double he had in the win over the Lakeland Magic. Branko Todorovic takes a lot of shots, and he's really been struggling to keep the efficiency at even a serviceable level, but every once in a while he has a really good game, and he was head and shoulders the best player on the floor in this win over Fort Wayne. 25, 13, and 5, shot 50% from the field. That's what I like to see. Anyway, that officially brings us to the end of episode 31. Thank you for watching again. It's another episode that has gone way longer than I initially thought it was going to go, but you know what? That's okay. And I know that the people who like this series are going to continue to watch it no matter how long I make my videos. So if you're still here, I thank you so much for your continued support. I think I forgot to mention this in the last video, but I just got to 200 subscribers. That's freaking awesome. I love you guys so much, and I'm really enjoying this series. Again, I'm looking to speed it up, post more often, simulate more with each episode, because, as you may have heard in the last episode, I am about to start an NCAA Football 25 series. I have decided it is going to be with the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. That intro video is already in the works, and I'm really excited to bring that to you all. So, again, thank you for 200 subscribers. Hopefully that continues to grow. Every interaction from you guys helps me out a lot. Please like, subscribe, comment, recommend me to a friend, whatever you feel comfortable doing. I'll see you guys in the next episode soon, where I plan on having some more trade talk and hopefully get to simulate to the All-Star break. So have a great rest of your day, everyone, and I'll catch y'all later.